Hi, this is Ron from POCculture.com. Thank you all for speaking with me.
Hi, Ron.
Hi,
Good to
Ron.
have you.
So great to be here at Zootopia. So much fun. And Nathan, you talked about the F word being fun. Making this during the pandemic obviously had its challenges. How did the team make sure to focus on that fun?
Yeah, I think Josie and Trent led the way for the word of fun. I think that Josie and Trent did such an amazing job of looking at the people on our crew and saying, hey, you are amazing artists. You are amazing at your skill. We're going to trust that you're going to bring your craft to this. And so I think Josie and Trent led the way of just having fun. In addition to that, I think as a studio, we do such a good job of just allowing people to be genuine of who they are as people. So although people were at home and there were dogs and cats and babies that went on screen, we're very forgiving and very understanding. And I think through the understanding compassion process, we actually got the best work out of everyone in a very collaborative manner that our studio does.
Well, if there's ever a project where cats and dogs coming on screen is appropriate, it's this one.
Exactly.
Trent, you talked about how you both wrote and directed with Josie, and it was just the two of you in a room having fun, making each other laugh. What was the most fun part of that creative process, but also what was most challenging about it?
Yeah,
You know what? Well, like Nathan said, I gotta say we used the F word. We said fun a lot. We used the other F word a couple times too. But really, we tried to make each other laugh all the time, Ron. And it actually wasn't just Josie and I. It was Josie and I. We had a story supervisor, Michael Herrera, and we had a story team of about somewhere between 3 and 6 or 7 people that rotated in and out. And we really built these stories together. So imagine us all on Zoom windows, just doing drawings, holding them up to the screen, doing pitches, and really, coming in with a vision, but being nimble enough to let the best ideas rise to the top was kind of our philosophy. Coming in with these ideas and this world of the original movie to play with.
And it's such a great world there. I think it's so rich, and this series proves how many more stories there are. And Josie, you of course worked on the original film. Did you ever think that you would revisit this world and have so many more stories to tell? And how did you feel about doing that?
it was so much. I was going to say fun again. It was so exciting to revisit the world of Zootopia because it is rich, filled with all these amazing characters, and there was so much created by the original team, neighborhoods and characters that we threw away, or we moved away from that. It was really great to kind of pull these sets back, and all these different concepts, because we knew that the original filmmakers had created such a wonderful world with all these different characters that I was excited to see come alive again. And so, yeah, we worked with a lot of our crew that worked on the original, and so they were able to jump right back in, and revisit these characters that they loved. And they also there was a shorthand working with them, right, Trent, where
Yeah.
they knew, like, oh, I know where I can find that set, or I knew, oh, this character would be great, and that, or these crowds could populate the background and really make the whole this whole series feel so vast and rich. So what an incredible experience, I gotta say.
Absolutely. And Trent, I know you pitched this project and brought it to life. You also worked on Once Upon a Snowman. Um, I think the platform Disney Plus is perfect for both of these types of stories. Is there anything you learned from making Once Upon a Snowman that you thought was really helpful here?
Oh yeah, I mean, this whole series is kind of based on my experience doing Once Upon a Snowman, because it was that, how do we tell a story from a different perspective? What if the camera rotated 30 degrees and we saw a little more of a scene that we recognized from the movies? So I learned a ton about how to make that type of short, but then I also, with Zootopia Plus, I have not spent a lot of time in the story room before. I come from animation, so I got to learn from Josie right here, a story master with over 15 years of Disney animation feature experience, and learn from the other story artists too. So I was soaking up every second, Ron, of just being in the room, listening to people, and trying to learn what I can.
I'm soaking it up right now. I'm trying to get what I can from you all here. Nathan, I know that you produced Raya and Encanto, and I think there was talk about this project kind of fit right in there. How did you manage to get that in during, creating those other two obviously incredible projects?
Yeah, I was fortunate enough to after finishing Raya and Encanto, I actually, while Encanto was finishing up, I was introduced to Josie and Trent on this project. And again, a lot of it in our studio, I'm thankful that we work for a studio that we do a lot of projects at one time, and we're very easily to kind of move between projects and among projects. So I was just fortunate enough to be working around in the studio in which people said, hey, Nathan, this is a great opportunity. Would you like to be a part of it? And when I heard that Josie and Trent were directing, I said, please sign me up. So yeah, it was something that I think naturally as a studio, I was able to just fit into.
It's really impressive to just consider, because I know what an incredible undertaking animation is, and how much time it all takes. Now, Josie, speaking of the time, I understand you were only originally going to direct 2 episodes, and then Trent convinced you to stay on. What was the final factor that made you decide, I can't leave this, I've got to see it all the way through?
You know, Trent, when he pitched these original shorts to Byron, Jared, and I thought it was so incredibly creative, and really just excited, really brilliant idea. And then when Trent approached me about directing too, I said, oh yeah, like Nathan, it's like, oh my goodness, I was honored, honestly. Because Trent had directed a few shorts, and I'd been developing a feature, but I hadn't experienced directing. And so for me, it was such a fortunate opportunity to see other departments, to learn what a VFX suit does, to see into layout and animation. And I learned so much. It was really a great experience that to set me up for success for future directing opportunities. So I thank Trent, you know, and as we were developing all 6 of them simultaneously, I couldn't choose one. It was really hard to choose your favorite episode and then to kind of turn your way and not try to contribute story-wise. So Trent was so gracious and said, hey, would you want to do all 6? And it was such an honor. You know, I'm so grateful for this opportunity. He's such a wonderful directing partner, so smart, and has amazing story chops, and is a brilliant animator. So I learned so much, I would say more on these shorts than anything. And thank you, Trent. I really appreciate it.
Oh, well, and now I got to jump in here because Ron, it took about 4 hours the first day. I remember it very clearly when Josie and I were looking at all the episodes to realize, oh, why would she only direct 2? Because then the other 4 aren't going to be very good, and 2 of them are going to be great. She has to do all 6. So it took like hours to be like, no, we need to work together in this whole series.
Because they were so much fun. There's that F word again. I'm sorry, Ron. Forgive our potty mouth.
I think this is great. Let's reclaim that F word. I think that's totally fine. Trent, obviously, again, you pitched this. It's part of what sounds like a really great kind of creative project that the studio has in general to encourage new ideas. In your head, do you see potentially this leading to a sequel feature film for Zootopia, or what more would you like to see going forward?
Well, you know what I've learned from this series and watching the first movie go on is that the people are hungry for more Zootopia. I'm not just talking about the audience. I'm talking about everybody in the building too. We love this world, and even the parks, right? Shanghai is doing a Zootopia land. So I think, I would love to see more Zootopia. I think the world would too. So for now, you can watch these and.
Oh my gosh, she's got.
And what? I'm on the edge of my secret.
If there's ever been a cliffhanger in an interview,
That's it. That's it. Yes.
Well, that's my time. But thank you all. I appreciate the conversation, and Zootopia is so much fun, and looking forward to more.
Thank you,
Thanks,
Ron.
Ron.
Thanks for
Ron.
being here.